So, if anybody here has watched the recent death battle, Voltron versus Power Rangers Zord, whatever, childhood memories. If anyone watched that and, saw the newest death battle, you guys know what this is about. Now, of course, this controversy first started when the two characters from Fairy Tail and One Piece, respectively, Natsu Dragneel and Portuguese D. Ace, were put in a similar segment called, what was it, 1 Minute Melee? Yes, 1 Minute Melee. I haven't really been thinking about that in a while. But, there's just one little thing that bothers me in terms of, who will win. This debate has been going on for almost a year now, actually, now that I think about it. Back when the 1 Minute Melee actually came out, I was thinking about doing pretty much this exact discussion on it and saying that Death Battle should do this. Well, good thing I waited a year, not just because I didn't have the, editorial materials to make a video like that. I mean, otherwise, in the past, it would have just been a gameplay of me playing a One Piece game as Ace. And who wants to see that? You guys get to look at what we're about to find in May 3rd. Yes, the death battle will be on May 3rd, which is a good while away from now, but not too far away, actually. Of course, most people on YouTube won't be seeing it until May 4th or 5th or whatever, but you get my point. Basically, our answer to who would win in a fight is coming very soon. Now, if many of you have watched the 1 Minute Melee, you know how it ended. But remember, 1 Minute Melee is just for shits and giggles. Same as Death Battle's spin-off, which is in similar nature, Death Battle X. But finally, we get ScrewAttack's, distinction on who will win. However, I know that no matter what the end game will be, there will be other people like Seth the Programmer who will pull out actual facts that will debunk the fight. Although they never tell us who would win afterwards, which is my main gripe with videos like that. But I still love them, don't get me wrong. I subscribe to Seth the Programmer specifically because of when I came on to him during his Death Battle Goku vs. Superman debunks. Because even though he never told us who he thought would win in the end, I did like that he showed that Death Battle was either underlying the facts of the fight, and so on and so forth. Of course, in the end, nobody is going to put in the work that Death Battle does to actually say who would win. So, regardless of debunking videos afterwards, we'll more or less have to take in what they give us, no matter what that puts. Now, I'm not going to lie, most of us are probably One Piece fans, and anyone who says they're a Fairy Tail fan is just like me, who is just more of a fan of the mangaka and his previous work in Rave Master and all of the other short stories he did before. And because of that, we'll wait and see how Fairy Tail ends. No matter how it ends, even if we hate it, I'm going to read it till the end. But regardless, because I've been reading it so well, I've seen some of Natsu's feats and have a decent, look on how strong he is and what he's capable of. However, we'll have to leave that up to Death Battle. But while I am more of a One Piece fan, I can't say I can accurately tell you how strong Ace is, mainly because, one, we never actually got to see the full level of his strength. If anything, most people would say that Natsu eating the flames that is Ace would be the end of the fight, and that is it. And I can see where that's coming from. That is the more outside point of view, and a seemingly practical point of view. And as a One Piece fan, I would honestly prefer Ace win. Now, once again, I am also a Fairy Tail fan, so you can see how I'm pulled a little bit here, but at the same time, not too hard, because Fairy Tail's hit rock bottom. Let's be honest. It's not bad. I've made a video on that, so if you guys want to watch that, please feel inclined to do so. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. It's not one of the worst things you've ever seen. I have seen worse. And because I have faith in this mangaka and his previous works, even though he hasn't, done much to, keep that faith intact as it should be, I'll believe in him till the end for now. And then when it finally is done, I'm like, and shake my head. But for now, it is what it is. Either way, I prefer Ace win. But there's also, on top of that, a more practical peace of mind that, similar to some other stuff, Ace would probably turn back into a human inside of Natsu's stomach, which is kind of weird, but I could dig it, I think. I mean, the blood that would be involved in that kind of a win would definitely be up to death battle standards. And if you guys don't believe me, have you ever watched a death battle? And if you've ever seen our childhood get truly fucked up, go watch Digimon vs. Pokemon if you really want to see your childhood get fucked. And ironically, burnt. Because that's get it, burnt, because people will get burnt in this fight. Now you guys are thinking, wait, how is someone going to get burnt in this fight? That's where one little tidbit of information is going to come in. Now this is going to get a lot into One Piece. One Piece is a world a little bit more than fairy tales, mainly being Logia fruits, which is what many people would think is the main thing that would keep Ace above Natsu. Now, on another hand, given how you see, for example, Urza versus Zoro, which actually, in a way, I'm actually kind of glad they did that beforehand. It kind of shows you that despite how OP Urza is by her world standards, she was still defeated by Zoro. So, in a way, there is actually some type of... How do I put it? It's kind of like comparing the feats in, like, Naruto to the feats in Dragon Ball Z. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, watch a Seth the Programmer video, or look up for whatever fake thing that said Madara would be equal to Nappa. Of course, it's definitely not true, but Seth the Programmer said that it's not without base, or something like that, or so I remember. And if I'm wrong recalling that, tell me in the comments below. But at the same time, and in the cards above, what would the point of this fight, of the conversation of the fight be if I didn't have you guys tell me who you think would win? So that's going to be in the, well, actually it should have flashed by now. Flash at the beginning. But it's in the cards. Who do you guys think would win? I mean, this is what the conversation's about. But of course, my thoughts in terms of Logia. Yeah, I don't think the Logia defense is going to be all that. Because of one little thing in particular. His death. Now people will say, well, Kainu probably used Haki. Now, of course, it's honestly quite impossible to tell. Mainly because before the time skip in One Piece, Oda never used the black coloring to show when they were using Haki. But at the same time, Haki wasn't that out there yet. So it's not like every single technique that had to be out there was used it. If anything, Akainu was making it more obvious that it was his devil fruit, at the very least, that would be capable of killing Ace. So, the argue of Akainu using Haki to damage him is kind of not really that necessary, because going back a little bit before the actual death, when they clashed in a more long-range technique fight, so by long range and use of the Logia powers, Haki could not have been utilized in that specific scenario. So we get into the fact that, yes, something has to give at that point in time. I'm not saying, it's not possible that Ace could have been hurt with Haki when he got killed, but at that specific point, that was just lava. That was the overbearing power and heat that burnt the flames. Now, do any of you guys see where I'm about to go with this? Because speaking of time skips, guess who got strong enough to burn stone with his flames? That would put his flames around the same heat as lava. Do you see where I'm going with this? I'm saying that the brute force of Natsu's flames could potentially replicate the heat and power of Akainu's magma fruit. Of course, we can't say for sure. One, because as the previous One Piece vs. Fairy Tail Death Battle proved, their worlds are a decent amount, there's a bit of a gap from what we can tell from that one death battle alone. Because Urza was one of the strongest members of the Fairy Tail world, and Zoro is a very powerful member of his world in the Grand Line, and yet not one of the most powerful. You see where I'm going with this? I'm saying that if you look at that and see how many more people are that much stronger than Zoro versus the decent number of people that are stronger than Urza in One Piece, and how Natsu and Urza are probably more similar in power to begin with, we can kind of make out that, Ace could potentially win in that alone, but at the same time, when it comes to devil fruits, the thing that matters is not power, but how one power works against the other. Now, you guys are thinking, these are both fire power, right? But when one fire burns that much hotter than the other, it might have a similar effect. You see where I'm going with this? Now, don't take what I'm saying as gospel. I'm just saying that it's not a given that Natsu will lose. You see what I'm saying? It's not a given that Natsu will lose. But at the same time, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. All I want to say is that keep your minds open until after the death battle's done. Then rant all you want, because we still have 3 more weeks till it comes. I can't wait to hear everyone's theories, ideas, thoughts. Don't forget to use the poll up above. I mean, come on, guys. It is what it is. End of story. We just have to deal with it, okay? That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. I don't have that much else to say, other than, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you haven't, there's a new Patreon. Also, if you guys want, like I said, there was the Fairy Tail is Bad episode, but you can check out other stuff I have as well. You see in the bottom right, there's the best for you, and I'll put whatever I feel like in the bottom right. And the links to subscribing and the Patreon are on the top left. And on the top right, you'll see all of my social media. So, I'm Smalls. Peace out, motherfuckers.